Hello, my lovelies. I have the fantastic Kaylani and, of course, our guest of honor, Miss Ali Hazelwood. Yay! We are so excited to have you here with us today.
Thank you so much. I think this is my first YouTube live.
What? Oh, well, I feel honored.
It's so cool. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I watch it, I don't watch it a whole lot more, but I used to watch it like there were like some of my favorite writers would like live stream their own editing things, and I felt less alone, and I would watch it and be like, oh my god, I'm not alone in this, and I loved it.
You know, as readers, we do that same kind of thing. It's called live reading sprints. We go on, we chat for a little while, then we have a timer up on the screen, and everybody just sits and reads.
I love that. See,
So,
it's that feeling of like we're in different places, but also we're not alone that I love.
Yes. When random people click on the video and they just see somebody sitting there reading a book, they're like, what's going on? Like, why are you doing this? But then we come back and everybody's like, oh, I read so many pages.
I love
especially
it.
love them for like 24-hour readathons that we do with our friends, because then, you know, when you're trying to truck through 24 hours and you know you're not doing it alone, like that makes it so much fun too.
Yes.
Yes, we did this past weekend, and we took turns on who was live for when, and we always had somebody with us to help make sure we stayed awake.
Yep, the full 24 hours. It was wild.
Amazing. This is like it's hard on the body, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Do not
I respect you so much, though.
Yeah, I'm like,
I wish I could.
I get very quickly reminded that I am too old to do that.
I know. I went to a concert recently, and I was like standing for half an hour, and my back was hurting so much, and I was like, oh yeah, I am a woman of a certain age now. It's not how we used to be here.
Right? Yeah, it's like after a certain point, you notice your age a little bit more when you do things like standing or bending.
I'm still relatively young, but having a baby changes your whole body, you know? And I just will never be the same.
Oh my god. How old is your baby?
He's 5 months today.
Oh my god, a little potato.
Yeah. Potato. He's so cute. Yeah. My youngest is almost an adult. Oh. My youngest is 17 and my oldest is 22.
That is it's probably a super interesting age, like a 17-year-old. To be a mother of a 17-year-old must be a lot.
17-year-old boy.
Yeah. Fun. I bet it keeps you entertained.
Keeps me something. So I was telling Ali and Kaylani before we started the live that I have searched high and low all over my house, and I'll probably find it as soon as this live show's over. But I can't seem to find my copy of Love on the Brain. Kaylani has hers there. But I do have these two beauties with me, all of which are fabulous.
The only copy of my next book that I have here it's the only one that I don't even have loved theoretically. It's
I am so ready for Check and Mate. Like, oh my gosh, it is so pretty.
I love the Illumicrate edition so much. They do such a good job. They are amazing. They did.
I am obsessed. I unfortunately could not get my hands on the edition for Love on the Brain, but I love my hypothesis one so much.
I get it. I tried to get the they did the Helen Huang trilogy recently.
Oh, I got them.
Okay, so I might rob you one of these days. I couldn't get it, and I was devastated. I was like, "What? How am I supposed to live the rest of my life without these books? They're so beautiful.
They're stunning. They are stunning.
I haven't seen them.
Oh my god, the covers.
Can I take a moment? Can I just take one moment?
Please. I want the pain. I want the pain.
She wants to drool over them.
Truly. Oh my god.
Ooh, those are so pretty.
I know.
Oh, I want those.
Oh, they're stunning, you guys. I love them. And
I love the
pages
colors,
are
too.
just gorgeous.
Oh,
I know. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
devastated. It's okay. I am glad they went to a good home.
Oh yes, I am obsessed with them.
I'm going to, like, I know myself that maybe someone will resell them one day and I will pay an insane amount of money
Yep,
for it.
and it's
And
No, don't say that because people will go crazy.
obscene. And I would be like, you know what, worth it. It's still worth it because they are perfection.
They are.
By the way, I think, sorry, starting about Illumi Crate, I have to say this. I don't know that they have shown the designs yet, but Christina Lauren, they're gonna have, you know, their duology, the Soulmate Experiment and the True Love, the Soulmate Equation and the True Love Experiment. I have seen, because I literally bother them every day. They showed me they're gonna have like Illumi Crate editions, and they showed me the covers, and they are stunning. So that is another thing that if I don't manage to get them, I would probably cry for days.
We actually had Christina Lauren here for one of our readathons. Yeah, we read the group book for that time was Autobiography.
Oh
And
my
they
God.
both came and joined us on the show. It was great.
Yeah, no, they're amazing. I'm in love with them.
So I have to say, I read The Love Hypothesis, and when I read it, I gave this one 5 stars, and I thought it was fantastic. And I was kind of nervous going into Love on the Brain because I loved this so much, and I was like, is it going to live up to it?
Aww.
Girl, I loved Love on the Brain even more. It was so
you.
good. I was like, this is even better.
Thank you so much.
Fun.
Yeah, as of yesterday, 2 days ago, I had read everything except for Below Zero. So I finished Below Zero and everything was amazing. I loved it all. So fantastic.
Thank you guys. It's so stressful. Like, you're like, oh, will the people who liked one of my books hate all of the others? Like, it's a constant worry and source of anxiety. So it's so nice to hear, you know?
I imagine it's very anxiety inducing for the author, but it's anxiety inducing for the reader too, because we're like, we love this so much. Is it going to live up to it? And then it sucks when it doesn't. But this one, like, to me, exceeded the first one. And then I haven't read the Under One Roof or Below Zero yet. I read the one in the middle because I had to use an audiobook, and that was the only one I could get was the Stuck With You. And I was like, that's got more steam than anything else I've read so far by her. I was like, whew, that was.
I am so glad.
Trying to homeschool my son and listen to that in my ear. And he's like, I'm just kind of looking there with some goofy grin on my face. He's like, what is it? I was like, nothing. He's like, why do you look like that? I'm like, nothing.
I mean, he's 17, so he probably would have, joined in the fun.
If they hear anything with these books, like, yeah, it would be one thing in other formats, but when they start hearing like my books that go like that, they're like, oh no, ew.
I know. I can't. Yes, I totally get it. It happened to me when I was in the car with a friend, and it was like her very porny audiobook that kind of started running. And so I am super okay with all of that stuff, but like listening to those scenes with my friend felt kind of weird. I was like, I mean, we buddy read stuff all the time, but like the whole act of listening together felt different. I don't know why.
Strangely enough, I feel the same way when I'm in the car with my husband. And I'm like, never mind.
Your husband.
I don't think we can listen to this.
When my husband hears it, he's just like, Lord.
But I feel like he's judging me for what I like because I like some dark stuff. And sometimes he's like, really, babe? Really, this is what you're listening to right now? I'll turn it off.
Well, I have 2 teenage boys in the house here, and I, like Kaylani, I like to listen to my books a lot faster than normal speed. Mm-hmm. And so if I'm playing it out loud, they don't typically have a clue what's being said. And they commented one day, I don't even remember which book it was, but it was during one of those scenes. And they're like, I can't understand a word that's being said. And I was like, well, here, let me turn it down to normal speed. And then they're like, oh, no. So listen, I put it at normal speed and they're like, no, turn it off. I don't want to hear that.
Best move ever.
And they're like, I regret asking. So we have a bunch of comments here. We got a lot of people saying hi.
Hi.
Thank you all for joining us. Tell us what you thought of Love on the Brain. Did you love it?
Or anything that you read from Ali.
Absolutely. Having a baby changes your entire body. I feel like I've aged 20 years.
Yeah.
I've not read Love on the Brain yet, but I have read The Love Hypothesis and absolutely loved it. Gave it 5 stars. I've been listening while cleaning the house. Love the pastels.
Yes, those covers.
Special editions are. It's the book porn section. Never read them, but those are gorgeous. The Helen Huang books. I think I just read The Soulmate Equation a couple of days ago. It was so good.
You're gonna like the True Love Experiment even more because it's truly a book written for people who are in love with romance novels. Because the main character, Fizzy, that you know from The Soulmate Equation, is she is this amazing romance author, and she's very sex positive. You're going to adore it. I promise this is not like they don't pay me to promote them. I just really like Christina. That's it. I just love Christina and Lauren.
Me and Mel are in the same boat. Love Hypothesis, 5 stars. How could it get better? And then read Love on the Brain, and it got better. I still have to read Love on the Brain, but I'm so excited to get to it. You're gonna love it. It's so okay. I don't want to say too much because there are people here that haven't read it yet, but I thought it was so interesting that there's just a tiny little bit of a mystery thriller aspect that comes in to play at a certain point. And I'm like, that was unexpected.
I think I am working my way through writing a thriller. Like my latest book that I have written, that I have finished, is the one it's gonna be my 4th one that I am not allowed to talk about yet, but like that one had like this really convoluted mystery plot, and I was like, is my editor going to like fire me for this? What is I think there is like something latent inside me that wants to write a thriller or something, because I read so many of them. I'm obsessed.
A friend of mine, she's one of my coffee patrons and has a channel here. She says she likes a little bit of murder with her romance.
I know. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I get it.
Like give me love, give me sex, give me steam, but also give me murder and
blood,
mystery. And
are we talking about Dana?
Dana, yes.
I love that you knew immediately. I feel like the stakes feel even higher when like that's why I like a lot of dark romance novels. Like they are,
Have you read Verity?
I have read Verity and really enjoyed Verity, and yeah,
that was an interesting twist too on the whole romance and thriller combo.
Yes, 100%. But yeah, I love that. So
reading steamy stuff is completely different than listening to it. I mean, I don't mind either way, but I know other people don't want to hear it or read it for that matter.
I'm not super, I don't really care when I listen to an audiobook unless I'm in the car with somebody else. I usually don't do that. But the other day I was driving down the freeway and we were stuck in traffic and this man was sitting next to me with his window down. I was so embarrassed. I literally had to turn it off. I was like, he's looking at me and I can't do it.
He was probably looking at you going, what is this noise coming? Because
I know, but in my head, I'm thinking he knows what I'm reading and I can't.
He knows.
I appreciate how representation was handled in this book. No pandering, just real life situations. I love that Ali is geeking out about books like we do. Me too.
That's the thing is that like reading books is fundamentally much more fun than writing books, and yeah, there's that. Like I enjoy it more. So
Well, I mean, it takes all the pressure off. You're just getting to
yes,
enjoy it and living somebody
yeah,
else's story than
it's so
having to come up with
amazing.
the whole everything
Yeah.
yourself. Speaking of coming up with things, B, her
Mhm.
name. Where in the world did you come up with that name?
So
Because
this
that last name, that's something.
Oh, the last name. Okay, so my husband is German. I'm Italian. My husband is German, and but we live here in the US. And I think so I wanted the last name, B's last name, to have the word Wasser in it. That was like kind of like an inside joke with my best friend, and I think I just was like, I was asking my husband, just give me German words. And then like I put it together. and my husband was like, this is such a weird name, but whatever. It sounds like something an Italian person would think is a German's name. And I was like, thank you. Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear. The name B, like the first name, I got, this is going to sound weird, but like my best friend's daughter has like one of her classmates was her name was B, like spelled like that, and I just thought it was so cute. I really loved it, and I was like, I'm gonna use it for something one of these days. It's I just love I like bees, and yeah.
Well, I was just like that had to do something with that, like where that name came from, because I was just like, that is such an interesting twist of a name. Like it was so different. Like not Smith or Connor or
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah,
I like
it happened.
it gave me what is it? It's like a middle grade book name. The Mysterious Miss Basil
Oh, yeah, I know what you're
Frankenmuller
talking
or
about.
something like that. Something like that. It made me think about that name.
I take it as a compliment.
So before we go through the rest, because I'm gonna forget this question, women in STEM. Why? What was your motivating factor? Why did you feel like this is where your space was?
Right. So I think what happened was mostly that it was my experience, because I have a background in STEM, and at the time I was working in STEM. Now I'm taking a year off, but up until September of last year, I was a professor myself. And so I think what happened was just that it felt like an environment that I personally knew, and that I had like stories about it, and that I could make fun of. It just felt something that was close to my own lived experience, and it kind of stuck. I actually, like, by contract, once the Love Hypothesis came out, I had to write 2 more books set in STEM. And I mean, I say by contract, but like I was happy to do that. Yeah, that's kind of how it came about. And now, I promise I have also write books not set in STEM. but yeah, I will have 2 books. My next 2 books, not Love Theoretical, but my following and my next one are not going to be like set in STEM academia. They're going to be different, but yeah, I mean, I can't see myself not going back to STEM books every once in a while, just because,
Well, it's funny whenever you Google your name, the first thing that comes up is not author. The first thing that comes up is Italian neuroscientist.
Oh my God, really?
Mhm.
I love that.
Yeah, it's like it's got your little picture, and it says Italian neuroscientist. And that's the first thing when you're in the middle of typing and it does like the auto suggest. That's what pops up.
That's funny. I promise I didn't do it myself. I don't know who does that stuff. But like I recently discovered, like a few months ago, my husband was like, "Do you know that you have a Wikipedia entry?" I was like, "No, I did not know that." He was like, "Come on, you must have made it yourself." I was like, "No, I don't even know how to make a Wikipedia entry. Stop accusing me of stuff. I haven't done anything."
You definitely have a lot of fans out there.
Oh yeah.
To whoever made the Wikipedia entry, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Karina says, I adored The Love Hypothesis and need to reread it soon. Hello, Drew.
Aww.
I haven't read either yet, but they're both on my TBR for springtime. Dana, I do love Murder and Steam. Dark romance for the win. She's who we were talking about.
Dana is, yeah.
I love Allie's accent.
Thank you.
Dark romance is where it's at. I completely agree. I'm a thriller girl, so I usually love any book that gets a little murdery. Allie, since you like to read books as well, what's your favorite?
Oh my God, it's such a hard question. I feel
Very
like
hard.
every time I change it, and every time I'm like, I don't know. Okay, I feel like a book that I like to say it's one of my many favorites, but I feel like it deserves a lot of love. It's called The Land of the Beautiful Dead by Ali Smith. She writes like, okay, we talked about romance and murder. She writes like romantic horror and or horror romance. I wouldn't know what the label is, but it's a zombie apocalypse demon-ish / king of the dead normal person. She's just a normal girl romance.
Ooh, I love the paperback cover.
It's such a good book. It's very much an epic. It's very long and very involved and very like I cried a lot. But it's a romance and it has a happy ending. Just letting you know, so you know.
751 pages.
The author is like she has written many of my favorite books. She also wrote The Last Hour of Gan, which is again, she is kind of famous for writing monster romance novels, or monster novels with romance. Like in The Last Hour of Gan, the hero is a big lizard, and I'm a fan of that. Apparently,
I like that.
I want to read this.
I highly recommend it. It's such a great book.
It's indie published too.
Yeah, she's an indie author. I adore her. Another book that I was like, I cannot believe she made me enjoy this. It's Cottonwood, and the hero is this kind of like arthropod, like cicada / praying mantis, huge bug type of thing. Okay, no, I'm right there with you. Disgusting. And yet I was shipping them so hard. Like the first time they had sex, I was like, I am so into this. Because no, believe me, it works. She makes it work. She's amazing.
Bug sex. Okay.
But he's like an anthropomorphized bug. I promise, like she makes it work for you because you fall in love with his personality and the type of guy that he is.
If you can write bug sex that makes it work, you are just a genius. Just a genius. You can claim the title.
And that is who she is. She deserves an Academy Award for bug sex. That's what.
Quote of the year.
This is bringing back memories of our friend Clint, who's normally a co-host, but he's having to work right now, so he couldn't be here. But he loves this one particular series that's like it's romance and it's honey badger shapeshifter.
Oh, that's right.
I love this. I am so glad. This is amazing.
And then right now, remember Mel, I was telling you guys about that book. I'm currently reading a book that has a hawk / dolphin as the female main character. I'm very confused.
She's part hawk, part dolphin.
Yeah. Does she like? I guess my question is she like part hawk and part dolphin at the same time?
No, she's a lycanthrope, so she can change into different forms.
And,
but like those are her two forms.
That is so useful if you think about it. She can fly, she can walk, she can swim. I love this for her.
All forms of transportation, she's got it.
100%.
I was listening to Twisted Love by Anna Huang while at my grandparents' house, and all of a sudden they started talking about nipples and stuff. I grabbed that phone so fast I didn't want them to hear.
Okay, Anna Huang is another one of my favorite.
So good.
I love everything she writes. I adore her. She writes the kind of like new adult stuff that she's
The
amazing.
Twisted series is top tier. It is
Oh
so
my God,
good.
I know. And I love the King of Wrath as well. Like it's I cannot wait for all those books to be out.
I'm reading
I'm a
it
big
next
fan.
month, and I am literally so pumped. And the new
You're
cover
gonna
for
adore
King
it.
of what? Pride? Oh, it's
Oh my
perfect.
God, with the feather.
Yeah,
Ah,
the purple.
it's so
Amazing.
beautiful. I know. I'm obsessed. I am obsessed with her. Yes, it's. I'm a huge fan. Anyway.
I have a couple of her books, but I actually haven't read any of them yet. So
Stop
You're
right
going
now.
to-
You need to read it.
You're going to love them so much.
Love on the Brain was my first Ali book, but it won't be my last. I was surprised when it got smutty. It was the perfect amount. Didn't distract from the plot and kept me engaged. Yeah. I mean, okay. It's talking about some smut.
Mm.
Corporate Thor. Lord. I was just sitting here going, yes, please.
Yeah.
Where's my corporate Thor?
The thing of those novellas is that they were originally supposed to be shorter than they ended up being. And then my editor was like, well, but can you make them a little bit longer? And I was like, yeah, I know how to make them longer.
we know how.
I liked Corporate Thor, but honestly, Below Zero was probably my favorite of all of them. Like the first scene in his office.
I know, it's my favorite too. I just think he's such a cinnamon roll, and he loves her, and I know it's my favorite. Also, generally, I like to read books in which, okay, I know like we are women, we are strong, we can save ourselves, but there is something really fun about like having someone taking care of you and like rescuing you, just because it's that feeling of someone loves me and takes care of me. And there are many types of love, but it's such a nice I guess act of service of like traveling across the world to save someone's life. And I was like,
I'm obsessed with him.
Okay, so I love the fact that she's like this little 5 foot thing. For one, I'm just barely over 5 foot myself, and then you got the big strong corporate Thor, and he just picks her up and I'm just like, yes.
It's
Pick me up, please.
I blame so I got to writing through the Raylo fandom, and like it's the main guy is like Adam Ryder and Adam Driver. Oh my God, Adam Driver. And then like you have Daisy Ridley, and he's so much bigger than her, and I'm like, okay, here I am, like size difference kink. This is the rest of my life. I am ready, and I'm just embracing it. This is it.
I feel like that's a good place to like drop into like the love hypothesis. Did it start off as fandom and then you kind of built it around that?
Yeah, it was a fan fiction originally that I wrote. I think I started in 2018 writing it, and then I finished in 2019, and then I started reworking it in I think 2020.
That's awesome.
What
was it a fan fiction of?
So it's the ship is called Raylo. It's I don't know if you're a Star Wars person, but so there is the original trilogy with like Han Solo and Leia and stuff, and then there is the newest trilogy. It's the one that starts with The Force Awakens, and the two main characters there are several main characters, but two of the main characters are Daisy Ridley, and she plays Rey, who's this like very good Jedi, the last one of the Jedis. And then you have the evil guy, who is Kylo Ren, played by Adam Driver. And they are at once it's this they are equal but opposite, and they fight all the time, and then they kind of make up, and sometimes they're allies, sometimes they are not. It's a journey, but that was like the ship that I was writing fan fiction about.
Okay.
And is your second book inspired by anything, or
no? Yeah, no, those were like we just like I wasn't really writing fan fiction anymore at that point.
So,
then
out of all of your books and stories,
Mhm.
which one would you say you see yourself most in?
I mean, I guess I would have to say probably B, just because she's a neuroscientist. So it was the one that I had to do the least research for because it's kind of like my field. So it was easy. I could just write stuff that I already knew. Um, I have to say, like, for example, the next one that's coming out, Love Theoretically, like it's set in physics, in the world of physics, and I don't know anything about physics because it's not my thing. And that's kind of how science is, like when we specialize in one thing and then we don't know anything about all the other fields of science. So I have to say that yeah, that was kind of a hard book for me to write in terms of like science. So I wouldn't say that I see myself in it.
So, how do you go from being a neuroscientist to a smutty STEM author?
I mean, I think it's because I started writing fan fiction in grad school when I was writing my dissertation, actually. And I think I was just really needing something else, like a hobby, something fun and creative that wasn't about academia or about science that I could like lose myself into.
So
And
you wrote about academia and
yeah.
science.
I think that's a fun part of it. Well, that's a weird part of it, I would say. I think I just really wanted to like make fun of a lot of the things that I was going through, maybe. And that's why it felt like a good time, like a good medium. In fan fiction, you can just like write. You can take characters that you really, really love, and you can sort of put them in the situations you're in, and you like, oh, how would they react if they went through this stuff? And that's kind of like a fun playground to explore.
You could also air your grievances for how women are treated in these fields, which I appreciated.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, there is a lot of like little stuff that I put in there. That is stuff that has happened to my friends, stuff that I've seen, stuff that has happened to me. A lot of like little things that it's kind of fun to like put it in a book and be like, ha, this thing happened, and it was maybe a very painful thing at the time, but now I get to, I guess, make light of it, or like it's kind of take control of it in a way.
And seeing as, STEM is your field, and a lot of that comes somewhat naturally to you. Not like, I mean, you said like Love Theoretically was very hard because you don't know anything about physics, but what would you say is like the hardest thing about writing something that you know so much about?
Oh, it's good. It's a good question. I guess it would be that sometimes I take things for granted, and my editor has to be like, why is this character doing this? Like there were like, for example, I remember there is like this weird situation between a physicist and her mentor in the newest book. And with my editor, like she was like, for example, you have to explain why a person would be so dependent on their former mentor. And this is something that if you're in academia, you kind of know that recommendation letters and networking and like the kind of community and what people say about you in the community is incredibly important. But if you're a little bit external to academia, maybe you might not know certain things, and so that required some rewriting and like some writing in to fill stuff, and so yeah, maybe that.
Is your husband also in this field? Because I was wondering if you're the neuroscientist. Is he the NASA guy?
No, my husband is also in academia, but he is a professor of English. So it's totally different field, but like similar lifestyle, I guess. That similar weird academic life that you have to move a lot, or I mean, it can happen that you have to move a lot. Not everyone who's in academia, but like we moved, like 4 cities in 5 years, and then you have to well, 6 years, but and then you have to just kind of like you struggle to find a job in the same place as your spouse. So like that's that is something that he's aware of. It's he understands the issue.
And you mentioned that you're taking a year off. Is that just that you can focus on writing books, or did you really want a break?
I wanted to see what it would be like to write full time, and yeah, I think I'm just figuring out what I want to be when I grow up, she said.
I love that.
firmly in her 30s.
I mean, I love that you've got this like solid career, neuroscience, and now you can go and explore your other passions like writing. But you have this neuroscience thing you can fall back on. So that's like,
yeah, it's definitely a big privilege. And but I also, like, a lot of my friends who write full time or who have tried to write full time in the past, they said a bunch of things that are very true. Like, for example, writing full time can be very stressful, weirdly, because you feel like you should be writing all the time and be productive all the time and writing 5,000 words every day, and they have to be 5,000 very good words. And so a lot of people were like, writing full time, even if you really want to be a writer and you really enjoy writing full time can be that kind of thing that can just not suit everyone. And I thought, like, they are right. There are things that are kind of hard about it, So it's an adjustment.
And then it becomes a job instead of a fun thing.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, I think when it's publishing and you start having deadlines, you start having you start having honesty also, like, because when I was in fandom, like, no one would come to you and say your fanfiction is utter crap and I hate it, because it's free, it's online for free, and there is this kind of code within fandom where you just don't do that. You just click out if you don't want it. But like, it's you get pretty honest feedback about the things that you write, and so there are a lot of emotions that come with writing and sharing your work when you become professionally or like traditionally published, at least. That was my experience.
I think that's always something interesting to think about as a reader, because when you write something, I think essentially, for most people at least, I can't speak for everybody, but I feel like for most people, you write for you, but then when the book is out of your hands, it's no longer for you. And
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, how people interpret your writing or your perspective or your story is no longer something you can control, which is always kind of scary.
100%. Yeah, and it's scary, but it's also something that I think we as writers have to learn to let go of. Like, you cannot, you kind of have to own up to the fact that, you're letting it out. And, if you wrote something that is interpreted in a certain way that is different from what you intended it, and say someone is offended, like at some point you have to own up that you might have made a mistake and things like that. So it's a balance, and I think all authors are grappling with that all the time, and trying to figure out a way to be honest about all this stuff.
Yeah.
Completely off topic. I love your little nails. Like, they make me think of Easter eggs.
Oh, thank you. I got them on purpose. I was like, these are, and I got them like 2 days ago, so after Easter. But
they look
yeah,
like Easter eggs.
Thank you.
What is the name of the first book Ali mentioned before Cottonwood?
Okay, it might have been either The Last Hour of Gunn. Gunn is spelled Gann.
Or The Land of the Beautiful Dead.
Yeah, and the other one was The Land of the Beautiful Dead.
Let's see. I'm 5'2" and I love men over 6 foot. So I was all on with B and Levi. Don't underestimate us short girls.
Same.
I have like, I'm not short, I'm fun size or bite size. Clint.
Hi, Clint.
He says, "Hey, ladies, sad I can't be there, but wanted to say hi." He's at work. Neuroscience to smut author, diversifying her portfolio. Absolutely.
For the max. Yeah. And then I know something that Mel talked about last time when we were talking about this book, but we loved the inclusion of our wonderful bisexual main character. So that was just so fun to read about. What was the inspiration for?
It's I think I like the idea. Like I feel like whenever I write a story, one of the characters is always not always, not I mean not every story that I write, but I feel like I find myself putting that into characters a lot. It's just that feeling of sex is something that I don't take for granted, that I might be able to, like either just I might not want to engage in, or it's something that I only want to engage in certain terms. And I don't know, I just feel like it's something that resonates a lot with me, and that's why I tend to have characters that are on that spectrum in my writing.
Yeah,
love that.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. So we always like to ask our authors that come on here some fun little things, like, do you have a go-to like snack or beverage that you like to have while you're writing?
Okay, well, so I am obsessed with Diet 7-Up or Sprite. I honestly don't differentiate them. I am an equal opportunity soda drinker, and I am going to probably die 10 years earlier than I should have, just because of how much soda I drink. And I'm gonna work on it. Okay, I'm so glad that we are on the same page. that is, I don't know why, but I truly love drinking Diet Sprite. Like, it makes me actively happy. So there's that. And then what about snacks? I mean, I would say everything that has a lot of chocolate. Okay, I am so glad that Clint is on my on my team. I have also like I have so many bottles. Why?
Funny.
I have one over there on the floor too. Anyway, snacks. Yeah, I really like sweets. I love chocolate.
Yes.
I love cookies with chocolate in it. And I love Nutella. Like, Nutella is the food of the gods.
We have visited several places over in Europe, and
Nutella
I have
their
found
jam.
Nutella is like staple part of all of their diet.
Yeah, it's
Nutella
so
with every meal.
Like, I grew up in Italy and I have no idea how this is possible, but I literally grew up. I moved from Italy when I was, I think, 23 or 24, and I moved here. I was convinced that Nutella was part of a healthy breakfast, because that is kind of how they sell it to you in the commercials. It's like, oh yeah, a lot of energy for you in the morning. And so it's a very good thing. And like, they have like the Italian national soccer team, our football is very important for us. So like, they have athletes, publicizing it. So I literally grew up thinking the healthiest food. And then I came here and I was like, people were like, what about eggs for breakfast? No, what about
protein?
There was very few times I can recall actually having any kind of egg, anything for breakfast.
Oh yeah.
Anytime we were in Europe, it was meats and cheeses and breads and Nutella. Yeah. Nutella was a staple of that breakfast.
And the first time I went to Europe, I was in high school, and I was obsessed with Nutella. And I thought it was a U.S. thing. I thought only the people in the U.S. really love Nutella. So when I went, I'm like, why is there so much Nutella everywhere? I mean, in the storefronts, like big ones.
No, it's an Italian export. Like, it's our or when I say I'm Italian, I'm only proud to be Italian because of Nutella. Like it's like, guys, you have no idea.
Even
It's truly.
pasta or wine.
I mean, that's good, I guess, but Nutella. But yeah, also like I don't know if you go to Italy, we eat a lot of like croissants for breakfast, like those pastries, and a lot of them have Nutella in them. To be fair,
Yes. And crepes.
Oh yeah,
France and anything that could have Nutella inside of it did.
Has
Oh,
Nutella
yeah.
inside it, yeah.
And we went to Germany, and yes, there was Nutella at most meals, and I was just like, what the heck? There's a lot of Nutella.
It's like the commodity of ketchup, you know, when they have the little packets, and you can find them in almost every cafe you go to in Europe. Instead of ketchup, you find Nutella.
the little packets are, so when I was in college, you know, there's the jar of Nutella, but like if I buy the jar, I eat, like I just like go in with the spoon and eat it. So I had to buy the little packets to pace myself.
Moderate yourself.
Yes. So I was like, okay, 2 packets per day, no more. And that's how I did it. And yeah, it's our thing.
But it's funny, like you're talking about, like the scooping it right out. We had an exchange student. We've had a lot of exchange students, and we had a girl from Thailand, and they don't have peanut butter in Thailand. And that girl, she lived on peanut butter. She, instead of taking a lunch or buying a lunch at school, she would literally take a jar of peanut butter. When she was with us, she'd take a jar of peanut butter and a spoon for her lunch, and she would eat peanut butter for her lunch. And when we went to visit her a few years ago, and when we went, we brought her one of those big 5-pound jars of peanut butter.
Did she finish it in one sitting and she loved
she,
it more than
she
ever?
spread it out over a while, but she was like, it was so good. We brought her all the things she couldn't get, like Pop-Tarts and peanut butter and stuff.
Pop-Tarts, yeah. So I was an exchange student too, and I have to say Pop-Tarts were such a revelation for me, especially the s'mores Pop-Tarts. I was like,
they're so good.
They're so good. They are so good.
Do you put them in a toaster?
Oh, I do, yeah.
Oh yes, and they get all melted.
Yeah, yes, exactly. No, I like them from the toaster. My husband is like, no need.
I like the brown sugar and cinnamon.
Brown sugar is good too, but the s'mores one are like top tier, another level.
I actually recently saw, I think it was a YouTube video or a TikTok of someone who made like a giant Pop-Tart. I was like, this is everything that I've ever wanted from life. It was amazing. It looked like a Pop-Tart. Fantastic.
My son Xander, he likes to break all the edges off, and then he won't eat the edges.
Oh yeah, same.
He'll break them all off, and then he'll dip the edges in milk and eat it that way.
Yeah, I would do, but like the edges themselves. Okay, we should.
They're my favorite part.
Okay, so if we live together, which we should do, moving together, I would give you all my edges.
Okay, another plan. Let me know when and where I'll be there.
Perfect. I'm wait for me. I know you have a baby, so I don't want you to like go out of your way. I'm just moving in, and I'll take care of your baby. And when you're like out and about,
Mel's done it. You can sleep with the books.
Okay, yep. Perfect.
I went to visit her, and she just gave me a big air mattress in there with all her books.
Oh, amazing!
It was a good place to stay.
I will sit with the Helen Hong trilogy Illumicrate edition.
And if she leaves, it might leave with her.
Yeah, I might never see it again.
Like, I thought I had that book
to have Ali Hazelwood in my house. That's fine with me.
I'll trade Ali Hazelwood for some books. Okay.
Just maybe.
Oh. We got a lot of comments here. Hold on. A lot of Nutella kind of comments. You should mix Diet 7-Up with lime sherbet.
I'm intrigued.
I like orange sherbet with Sprite.
Oh,
so good.
You guys are so fancy. I never even tried.
When my kids would have like parties and stuff, like birthday parties, we would take a big punch bowl and we would put orange sherbet down in the punch bowl and then pour 7-Up or Sprite over it, and the sherbet would melt, and it would be a really yummy punch. Like that was their favorite punch.
genius. Truly,
really good.
So I would spike it with something too, just for for
You can
fun.
totally do that for the adults. Yeah.
For the adults, yes.
But it's already, you don't need ice either because it's cold from the sherbet.
Right, the sherbet. Yeah, it's amazing.
OMG, I love Nutella. I used to love Nutella until I turned dairy free, and now I can't have it anymore, which is sad. That is sad.
I think there are vegan alternatives though.
But it's not actually Nutella.
I mean, it's something else.
Bama is good too. I don't know what that is.
I mean, either.
Pasta. That's a good guess, but Nutella. S'mores Pop-Tarts are amazing.
Okay, Clint, like truly we are food soulmates.
I'm so sad that you couldn't be here today because you guys would be vibing so hard right now.
My fiance loves the S'mores Pop-Tarts. I love this. Mom and cousin moving out without me. So Drew calls me mom and Kaylani cousin.
Oh, I love this. A big family.
And you can give her all your pretty books.
I don't know about all of them, Ali, but I'll give you some of them. I have an attachment to some of these, okay?
She's like, just don't touch my Sarah J. Maas.
Okay, fine.
Please. I have way too many Sarah J. Maas books, but I'm still not capable of giving any of them up.
I get it. It's hard. I have literally so many Sherry Thomas books, and they're mine, and no one can touch them ever. And I will go to bed with them.
And I was just telling a friend, I think Sarah J. Maas has published maybe 15 books. I own over 50. I don't know how this happened, but here we are.
Okay, but Sarah J. Maas has so many beautiful like editions,
special editions.
Yeah,
and Kaylani's got all of them.
I get it though. Like
that's me with Cassandra Clare though. So
right there.
I get it. It's this is the stuff that gives the serotonin. It's the special editions of your favorite authors, the edges, like that stuff is like, it's how to buy happiness, and I am down for it.
Me too. My wallet is crying, but I
know.
My wallet hurts every time. I'm like, I see these special editions come out, and they're so beautiful with the sprayed edges and all that. And my Cassandra Clare's.
It's a whole shelf. Yeah. I love this.
That's all Cassandra Clare.
This is my Sarah J. Maas one all the way over there. All of them are Sarah J. Maas.
I loved like the idea of having like
actually filming like this.
Your
this looks
own
so much better.
Little thing is amazing. I love the it's like the shrine. That this is just for Sarah J. Maas, Cassandra Clare, Sherry Thomas.
We love that.
In my dining room, I have like my fairy tale shelf and my. Let's see if I can go in here.
By the way, I love that you are still in the process of moving in, but
the books are
exactly priorities.
Turn this light on. We got.
Love that. I love that. That's amazing.
So cool.
Is that a wheel of sorts?
Yes, it's my wheel of TBR.
Oh my god,
it's one of the things I play in order to pick my TBR for the month.
Love it.
It's a lot of people love that video. And
then
then your books will be on these shelves because these shelves are specifically
amazing.
These shelves here are specifically for the authors that have been on my channel. So all your books will be on these shelves.
Guys, this is amazing. I will steal these ideas to choose my TBR now.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah.
I have 3 different things I use, 3 different videos that I put out for choosing my TBR. I have a series called Have I Read It, where I go back and react to a haul I've done over 3 years ago and tell everybody if I've read the book, if I haven't read the book, or if I've unhauled it. And out of the books that I still own that I haven't read, my viewers get to vote on which book or books I have to read the next month. And then I have my Cards Against My TBR, which is
Cards Against My TBR.
Yeah, so I use Cards Against Humanity cards. I take 26 answer cards, 26 question cards, shuffle them up, and then I draw 5. And I have to use books to either answer the question or find a book that makes me, the answer card makes me think.
Yeah.
And like, for example, I got the card. I'm using it as a bookmark. The answer card. A pinata full of scorpions. I was like, well, that's either going to be something that's going to make me hurt.
Yes,
or
exactly.
something that I didn't, like a twist that I didn't see coming, because you don't expect scorpions in your pinata.
Exactly.
So I picked the thriller.
Perfect.
But yeah, it was like that. And then I have my wheel of TBR is the final thing.
I love that. I love that. Usually my TBR is chosen by either like whatever arc I need to read for a blurb, or whatever hold comes through on Libby, and then I'm like, okay, well, I gotta read this right now. That's it, and there's no choice, or Libby will take it away from me in 15 days.
15 days.
Exactly. So
I love that you are like, I feel like, we've interviewed quite a handful of authors at this point. I feel like you're like the most like, what is the word I'm looking for? Like, I feel like we're so like kindred spirits. You're doing the same thing that we're doing. We're like battling the holds on Libby. They all come in at the same time, and you're like, what am I supposed to do now?
What? How is that even possible? Like, I'm like, are you doing it on purpose, Libby? Like, are the people doing it on purpose? I get like 12. Actually, so what if I am out on vacation? I swear to God, holds that, and I'm with other people, so I won't have a lot of like listening time. Holds that I have had for 9 months are going to all come through while I'm on vacation. What is this? How is it possible? Libby, explain this to me.
And it's like you have them all at different times. One is like 2 weeks, and the other one's like 14 weeks, and all of a sudden your audiobook is available. What?
I know. I know. I literally, like, I've come to expect. I think if I get pregnant and I go into labor, while I'm on labor, all my holds will come through like in those 12 hours or 30 hours. That's what's going to happen. I just know it in my heart.
100%.
Funny. But yeah, I would say you're probably the most like geeking out with us about books.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm a fan.
We know how it happened. It's called an empty wallet. Kaylani with Sarah J. Maas. Mel with Sandra Clare. Clint with TJ Klune. For me, it's Stephanie Garber.
Okay, just saying another thing. We were talking about holds. My hold of Carval just came through together with 12 other holds. I'm like, well, but like, yeah.
Every freaking time. I think now on Libby, I think I have like 7 holds. And I'm like, how do I don't, now mine is 21 days. I don't know who upgraded it, but I'm happy about that. But still.
Oh, that's amazing. That is good.
I was like, wow.
I'm only allowed 5 holds at a time.
Oh, so,
yeah.
I have to say I cheat a little bit, and I can tell you how I cheat a little bit. But like, you can have more than, maybe I'll tell you later. But you can. But basically, there are places.
You can tell us when we're not live.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you. I live in Texas, and there are places in Texas where you only need to be. I don't think you even have to be a Texas resident. I think you just like, sign up for it online, and you can add the library card to your Libby, and then you can have like up to 30 holds. And that is how I get with like 15 holds to me at the same time. And
I did that with the Las Vegas library, and then somehow it was me, Clint, and Karina. We all did it, and now everybody knew about it, and they found out, so they took it off.
No.
Karina sent it to me, and I signed up for it, but then the next time I got on to Libby, it wasn't there, and it was just back to my regular library. I was like, well, okay.
They said psych.
I mean, I think this library in Texas, I mean, they let you do it. Like, I think they're fine with whoever doing it. I don't know.
The New York Public Library will also let you do like a short-term one.
That's nice. And there's also what's the other app? Hoopla? Yes. I have that. I use that one too.
I only get 5 with Hoopla too.
Well, the thing about Hoopla,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
doesn't Hoopla come out? Like, I never have as much of a weight with Hoopla. I feel
Oh,
like.
I almost never have to wait with Hoopla.
Right. Yeah. I don't know how that happens.
But I wish that Hoopla, it was like Libby, like you could have 5 holds, but not just for the month. Like once the hold is done, then you can go get more. But I think with Hoopla, it's like you only have 5 for the whole month.
For the whole month,
okay.
yeah. Even if you only get it for a second and then start it and go, no, I don't like this, and you return it, they're like,
that
no, it doesn't give it to you back. Let's see. That's my TJ Klune, Casey McQuiston, and Alice Oseman shells. Cool, y'all. Thank you. Check out my Wheel of TBR. Clint does a toil in TBR. Like I actually got him like a little cauldron and stuff and little potion bottles, and I helped him make like prompts and stuff. And so he makes like he takes one from a bottle that's either says queer or straight, and then another bottle that has certain kind of prompts, and another bottle that has certain kind of prompts, and he puts like gets them randomly, and then has to find a book that the potion makes up.
Like Toil and Trouble. I love this. This is amazing.
He goes like with the costume and all that stuff, and he says
yeah.
He has some kind of spell like they do on Charmed or whatever. It's cute.
It's very cute.
Mel has the best TBR games. I love her facial expressions when she ends up with a big stack of books to read. Yeah, sometimes I have a stack of books that's like my height or something. It's ridiculous sometimes. This month it was like probably the smallest I've ever gotten, and it was like 12 books.
Oh my god.
Still a lot, but
It is.
Let's see. Ali is the most relatable author so far.
It's the Libby. It's the
we just talk about our most relatable author is a neuroscientist.
Okay, but like we are all
I know, right?
pawns. We are all pawns in Libby's mastermind scheme.
Libby has a chokehold on our life.
Exactly.
Libby's trying to kill us with the holds. For me, it's a really popular book, and it's going to take forever to get. I just buy it instead.
It's a good thing. So what I do, I have like I use okay, so I have Audible that gives you a credit a month, and then also there is this I think with Libro FM. I promise I'm not sponsored, but you can like give some proceeds to your local indie. So I usually like to buy my books through them because I love my local indie. They're the cutest. And I mean, I bet everyone says it about their own local indie. Because all indie bookstores are amazing. But so I do that. So usually I have a couple of books per month that I can just listen to because I buy them, and then there's the rest of that.
See, Libro FM has a chokehold on my life too because I'm part of their ALC program, and they just recently upgraded their ALC to like 3 pages worth of things you can download, and I'm like, girl, I got too many books on my TBR.
That is a struggle. Yes. That is, sometimes there is like just having so much choice. You're like, what do I do?
That's why the TBR game comes in handy, because if I had to choose books off of my TBR, I would never read anything ever.
A struggle.
I every time I get my stack of books, I then like whatever I'm supposed to read for the month, I go through and I'm like, okay, what can I find an audiobook for? Because that's the only way I'm able to read as many books as I do. Because there's some that I can't get audiobooks for. And so I have to physically read, like for example, Going Dark, I have to physically read because there isn't an audiobook for it, even on Audible, because it's a brand new book. But everything else, I'm like, all of the audiobooks, I'm looking them up on every single different app I have, going,
all the platforms.
how can I listen to this so that, because I can listen while I'm in my car, listen while I'm cleaning, listen while I'm doing anything, diamond painting.
Yeah, it's the multitasking. So I listen a lot while I crochet, which is, I totally get it. It's like not only you have the relaxation of doing like this craft that you like, but then you also have like a beautiful story in your ears. So that is like, it feels like the most self-care thing to listen to an audiobook while you're doing a craft. You're like, this is, love it. I love my life.
I've been the past couple of days finally getting some time in with doing my diamond paintings while listening to audiobooks, and I'm just like, this is so nice. I need more time like this.
I know it's sometimes we need that stuff. By the way, diamond painting looks amazing. I mean, I would like make a mess if I tried it, but like when I see the final results, I'm always like,
you know what? I would say you probably wouldn't make a mess, because that was one of my biggest concerns, because I have trimmers, like I shake. And so I was thinking I'm going to be terrible at this because you got these tiny little diamonds and stuff, but it's a lot easier than you would expect.
oh,
I've
okay.
also done paint by number, and paint by number is a lot harder for me than the diamond painting is. I thought it was going to be the other way around.
Mhm.
But yeah, and surprisingly, I don't shake that much when I'm actually doing the diamond painting. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's so relaxing.
Mhm. I
But
have to say, I had a brief time when I was obsessed with this paint by number app on my phone.
Me
Like
too.
you know the struggle of like just.
And then once you do one, you can't stop in the middle. You gotta finish it.
Oh
But then
no,
when you
no,
finish
you
it, you're like,
have to.
let me do
You
another
have to.
one. And then all of a sudden,
Yes,
it's 4
I
hours
know.
later. It's dark outside, and you're like, how did I get here?
I know, addictive. I know.
you're like, I've done nothing but do this.
I know. That's what my husband is like. Are you still there doing that thing? And I'm like, why are you judging me now?
Don't judge me.
I am tired. Oh my god, that app. Yes, it's amazing.
Einstein.
Giant fur ball over there. He's snoring on the couch.
Oh my god, hi.
Einstein.
Hi. What a good boy.
He said hi.
Said, hi, I will turn around just so you can admire me in all my beauty. Oh my god. What's his name?
His name's Einstein.
Oh my god, hi, Einstein. Oh god, big yawn. Hi.
Yes, Einstein, your life is so hard.
He's living the life over here.
Einstein. I see you're not loved. I see you're not fed. I see you're not taken care of.
As you sit on the pink couch.
The pink couch.
Exactly. Happily cuddled.
Oh, you coming over here now?
Oh my god.
He says, I need love.
Oh
You
my
said
god.
cuddles.
Einstein, I would kill for you and I would die for you. I hope you are aware.
He is my sweet boy. And I love his freckles.
He truly is the sweetest. Oh my god, not the kisses. Oh, I'm so jealous right now.
You have
I make him up. Mwah.
The envy. Oh my god.
He is the most cuddly thing ever. Oh, hi. Oh. He says, and just melts into me.
Oh my god. This is truly pets are.
He's laying on my feet now.
Allie, do you have pets?
I have 3 cats. Yeah, and I love them so much. And I don't think they love me, but it's okay because I love them enough for the both
That's
of
how
us.
cats are.
It's okay. They're pretty, and I would die for them too. They are. I don't know where they are right now, but yesterday I think I was recording a podcast, and there was like my kitten, the youngest one, she's 6 months, and she wanted to be inside with me. So I started my podcast, and then of course 2 minutes after I started, she wanted to be out, and I was like, no, I am recording now. This is not happening. She proceeded to devastate my office, like, complete devastation, and I was like, whoa, sorry.
Never mind. I'll let you out.
Exactly. I guess we're doing this. I guess I will stop my podcast.
We have 4 cats and 2 dogs.
Do they all get along?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we had a bunny too, but I had to give the bunny away when we moved because at our old house, our bunny had his own room, so he could be away from the dogs. Because the bunny was okay with the cats, but not okay with the dogs.
Was he scared or was he aggressive? Oh.
Yeah, he was cool to chase around. He'd chase the cats, but the dogs just terrified him.
Oh, he would chase the cats.
Yeah.
That's a
His name
brave
was Little
bunny.
Bunny Foo-Foo.
Oh.
And he was white with the long, fluffy, like floppy ears. You're just gonna fall off head first.
Yeah, I have a dog and a baby and a husband. That's enough for me.
He's upside down here with his head hanging off the couch.
Was the dog there before the baby was there?
Oh
yes. Yeah, we've had our dog first.
Does this mean that they are like best friends because
No, my dog could care less about the baby. Like the baby tries he's old enough now that he's trying to like touch her.
Yeah.
He's looking at him like, if you don't stop. Bailey is just not enthused at all.
Aww.
I wonder if it's a little dog thing because Bailey's like a small dog.
Yeah.
If it
I don't know,
had
maybe-
been a bigger dog, I think they tend to be like more like, let me love
Yeah.
on you.
Yeah, no, she's like, I don't even like you.
I used to be the
The
queen
baby.
of this house.
Yeah.
And
Not anymore.
now
OMG, when they took away the library card for non-Las Vegas residents, I was devastated.
Me too.
I've seen libraries that will give non-state residents a library card for $50. Some of the libraries are worth it. Man, my library. Okay, so I live outside the city limits.
So yeah.
I'm still in the county, but I live outside the city limits. So because I'm outside of the limits, I don't get a free library card. I have
Same.
to pay $50 a year for my
Same.
library card.
Yeah.
It's just, it makes me sad.
For us, it's 50 per household, I think. So my husband and I both got like a card for that. But yeah, like it was the same for us. And I think I never thought about the whole city limits thing until we got there and we were told, nope, you don't get that. I was like, but.
Oh, you're making me blush. Hey, I missed some of the live, but I'm here. Welcome.
Hi, Adam.
Okay, you are our spirit person. I have 2 accounts for Libby. One account can check out 7 books at a time, and the other can check out 50.
Yeah, mine gives me 52.
I am moving to the 50.
I'm telling you, come live with me.
Mine, I can have 5 on hold, and I can have 5 checked out. That's it.
You've been bamboozled.
I have.
To me, the worst thing is the what?
My library doesn't support Libby. That sucks.
But why?
That hurts my soul for you.
Yes.
Diamond is so easy. I'm completely addicted.
The result is so pretty.
I enjoy Kaylani's Bingo TBR.
Thanks.
Yes, the Paint by Number app that used to be my go-to with audiobooks before diamond painting. The amount of hours I had on that was concerning.
I know. I hate when they tell you how many hours you've spent on it. And like,
Yeah, don't tell me that. Don't call
it's
me
like,
out.
I don't want to know that. Like, let's just never talk about this again.
I'm actually crocheting my reading blanket as I watch this live.
I'm reading blanket. I love this.
Einstein is the star of the show in all of Mel's. One way or another, he makes himself known. Even if he's not on video, he's moved the tripod or something.
I
or
love
he's
it.
sleeping underneath the tripod while
he's
he
eating a
moves
bone
around.
and clonking it on the floor.
Yeah, and I'm like, sorry if the angle changed, but Einstein bumped the tripod again.
What about the other dog though that you have? You said you have
the other dog. Hold on, let me see if I can find her.
Bella.
Yeah,
Bella.
I find Miss Bella. Where she
is Bella less of a main character energy type of dog?
There's Bella.
Hi Bella. Oh, what a nap she's having.
Hey baby.
Hi.
She's really like,
Hi.
excuse me, I was napping. Hi, Bella.
Look at you.
Oh,
she wants tummy pets.
Oh, and then here comes our jealous boy.
Okay, Einstein is the kind of clingy dog that I want. Like, if I get a dog, I want a dog who like requires pets.
Yeah,
all the time.
he's my shadow, and
I love
anywhere
that.
I go, he's right beside me.
I love that.
And when I go to sleep at night, he sleeps outside my bedroom door.
Aww. I love it.
I just have to check that and see if this one cat's breathing, because there she is. She looks dead. She's very old.
She looks like a lamb, really, like a sheep or something. Like I love.
Like she legit looks dead. I have to watch
Oh,
her for a second to make sure she's breathing. But she's still breathing.
Okay. I have to do
Katniss.
this with my husband, by the way. Like,
You have to do that with your husband.
yeah, he has kind of sleep apnea or something that he should do something with. And I'm like, oh my God, he's not breathing. Is he okay? Is he dead? And then like, yeah.
Yeah. My husband
That's
has it
missing.
too.
Hi,
baby.
What a fluffer.
There's a couple more
As
around
in-
here somewhere. Let's see. Oh, we go outside here. Oh, here comes one.
Oh, I bought the Love the Porch.
Oop, oop, oop. Walking down the stairs backwards.
That is challenging. Hello.
That's Sasha.
Hi, Sasha.
And chairs that my boy broke. And there's Tigger.
Oh.
And Einstein, of course, because he's got to be everywhere.
Okay, so I must know, is your orange cat your least smart cat?
No.
Okay.
She is our least smart cat.
Okay,
She's
well.
loud and obnoxious and annoying. He is like Garfield.
Okay.
He likes Italian food.
Oh. We have an orange cat who is like by far our least. I don't want to say he's stupid because he's not stupid. I think he has his own intelligence, but he's not like, he doesn't catch up as quickly as the other cats. There is like this moment where, you know, like we pour the food in the bowls and the other cats start eating and he just looks at us as if, what should I be doing now? And we're like, oh, sweet summer child.
We had a cat that was very dumb. And I blame it on my daughter because she named it something dumb and confused it from birth. Because we had it since it was born. And she named the cat Inu, which is Japanese for dog.
For dog, yeah. Interesting.
And I was like, she just confused the cat from the beginning by calling it dog in another language. And this cat, it wouldn't use the litter box.
Oh no.
It would go out like just outside the litter box, but it wouldn't go in the litter box.
Oh no.
And it would just use it like, well, one day, like I did it somewhere on the floor or something, and my husband had fussed at it and, you know, did the whole making it look at it and bad. And the next day, though, that cat showed that there's some brains in there, because when he got up the next day, that cat had pooped in his office chair. Yeah. And it was like, I was like, that was intentional. That was
revenge. For sure.
That cat's not as dumb as you might think.
Amazing.
Einstein is the star of the show every time he bumps Mel's tripod. Chewy is Clint's dog. He's a little doggy.
He literally looks like
so
a Chewbacca.
He looks like Chewbacca.
Oh, Chewy.
I live in a town with less than 3,000 people. I'm surprised we even have a library.
Yeah, well.
But
it's a real star, yeah. Didn't even pause. That's the dumb cat. I have sleep apnea, and it sucks. I wake up at least 6 times a night.
It's my husband. We've been thinking about him, or he's been thinking about, you have to do your test, your sleep test, and then you get your sleep study, and then you get
the CPAP machine.
But it's he's been putting it off, and so here I am terrified that that he's not alive anymore.
I don't know.
Yeah, my husband, he has sleep apnea, and he has the CPAP machine, and it was he would straight up stop breathing. He would have like these loud, ferocious snores, and then it would just stop.
I know, it's terrifying,
and there'd be no breathing.
I know.
And sometimes almost a minute of no breathing, and then
I don't really stress about my husband anymore because I think I've gotten so used to it. But now that the baby sleeps in our room, he'll be waking the baby up because he'll be like quiet, and then and the baby's like.
It really is a whole thing. Like when you wake up people who snore very loudly, there is this moment of like they look at you befuddled, and then they make this and you're like, excuse me, I was trying to sleep.
Yeah, and then I literally I hit him. I'm like, honey, you're snoring so loud. He's gonna be like, what? Yeah, I said it like 5 times. I'm like, you're snoring loud. He's like, huh? No brain cells, nothing. Gone.
Well, apparently, since I have put back weight, like gained weight, I've started snoring like apparently I used to snore a little bit, but it was like, the cute, he called it the cute snore, where it's like, just a little quiet. And he's like, now you sound like I used to. he's like, you hear you down the hall.
Okay.
He's like, you need to go get a sleep study. I was like, I just need to lose weight.
He has to share his CPAP machine. That's what he has to do instead of criticizing.
Except his face is so much bigger, so it's like,
oh, so it's yeah.
I'm trying to wait to do my sleep study till after my pregnancy, but I might not be able to wait that long.
Yeah.
For me, instead of sleep apnea, it's sleep talking. For example, I woke myself up this morning by yelling in my sleep. My fiance was concerned that something was hurting me, not knowing I was asleep. I mean, I never minded when my husband started talking in his sleep, because I would ask questions. He'd start saying something. I'm like, what? What? Say that again. Who's that? And he wouldn't remember anything.
Another one of the questions that we ask a lot of our authors is, what are you reading right now, or your most recent read that you really loved?
So my most recent read was that I just finished was the Name Drop by Susan Lee. It's a YA book, and it's coming out in September, and it's amazing. It's I don't know if you guys are into K-drama. I really love K-drama. Korean drama, and it has that feeling of just like, I don't know, it has that K-drama feeling. I don't even know how to explain it. And
I watched some, and it's cute.
Her covers are stunning. The cover of her first book, Soulmates, like soul spelled
like in Seoul, Korea.
Exactly. Yes, it was.
I had that book.
Amazing. It's a really good book. Like her first one is amazing too. Anyway, that is what I just finished, and it was excellent. And then so my Hold for Caraval came through, so I have to be listening to that. And okay, so I actually have 2 arcs that I'm going to be reading, and they are. Okay, well, I actually would have to give me a second.
Let me look.
Let me look, because I have they are the next on my this is what I'm reading now type of a thing. But
Bethany says my son giggles in his sleep. Not sure if it's cute or creepy.
I don't know. I can't tell you honestly. For me, that's creepy, but maybe it's cute for your son. But that just sounds creepy to me.
I think it would be cute at certain times and creepy at others. Like,
yeah,
I do that in the middle of the night, because that would creep me out.
The horror movie potential interpretation.
Clint says, I talk, sleepwalk, sleep, eat, snore, etc.
Damn.
He sleep lives.
He said the trifecta.
Love K-dramas.
Okay, so my next arcs are, I'm going to be reading Thieves Gambit by Kavion Lewis, and I think it's a book about a competition for the best thief in the world.
I've heard about that one.
I'm excited about it.
Thieves Gambit?
Yeah. And my other arc that I'm planning to read is House of Marianne by JL. And yeah, so I got them recently, and I'm just excited to dive in.
I loved JL's first book, so I'm really excited for that one.
Yeah, they're coming out, I think, in the fall, both of them, eventually. And Maya Sarah J. Maas fan, yes, I like it. Or I mean, I haven't read all of her series. I read the Court of Thorns and Roses series, yes. And I love that. Series. And yeah, it's one of those things where I constantly tell myself I'm going back and reading everything that she has ever written.
I read the ACOTAR series, and I was like, I have to read everything. And then I read the Court of or Throne of Glass series, and I was like, it was good. I liked ACOTAR better. And now there's the Crescent City, which okay, that's like Kaylani's baby. That's her favorite. She loves it. She's got a tattoo about it on her.
It's not done though, right? Like it's ongoing. Okay.
So at least one more coming.
I I read the first book. I've been told I need to read the second book. I have the second book. I almost DNF'd the first book, but Kaylani made me keep going. And I was glad I did, because the first half I was done with. The the second half I loved. And so it ended up being a 4-star read for me. And so I've been told that it just jumps right into all of the stuff in the second one, and it's, you know, it's even better.
You know, I think she does that a lot, in the sense that, like, not like, right, I think she's very good at, like, pivoting series up a series, and, like, going in really unexpected direction. Because, for example, for Athon, yeah, exactly. But I really enjoyed the ride. Like, I was like, oh, this is not going where I thought it was gonna go, and I'm loving it, kind of. So I love the way she's just, you can't really tell where she's going. Nothing is for sure with her, and I love that a lot.
City is just a lot. The first half is just so much world building.
I will throw this up here.
It's like, it was like the first, I'd say the first third of the book was like a lot of info dump world building, and that was the hard part for me. And then, like, the second third was like, it was good, and then the last third was just like, I was obsessed, and I was like, I love it. And this part of the book I would give 5 stars, and so in the end I ended up giving the whole book 4 stars. And I'm very interested in reading the second one, but I'm like, I probably need to reread the first one, and
because of the world building.
I have to go through that again.
Yeah. The visceral reaction that I had reading that first book, sobbing at 3 o'clock in the morning, I will never forget it. Never.
I love this for you, though. Like, it's there's nothing like crying over a book when it's like your entire household is asleep, and you're like, oh my God, I'm feeling so much.
Yep.
Kaylani's just looking at Mel like, you're lucky I'm even still talking. Ali, like, Sarah, she can stay. That makes sense. I'm just going to say House of Earth and Blood, because that just sounds bad.
Hoab
and Hosab. I'm currently reading the Throne of Glass series, and I love it. I'm struggling to get through the Akatar series.
Oh,
it took me 4 months to read CC1 and 3 days reading CC2. Yeah, that's what I've heard. The first one is it's hard to get through, but the second one is so good. Kaylani, I love you.
Okay, but Kaylani, everyone is agreeing that the series
is good.
It's just the world building. So
yeah, it's just, you got to get past that part.
Yeah, I think it's a net win for you. I think deep down everyone is agreeing.
I have to tell people that when they're going through the Mortal Instruments, that yeah, things happen in the second book, and that's the point that most people are like, no, I'm done. I'm like, just keep going, it gets better. I promise, keep going.
The thing with House of Earth and Blood is that it's like every freaking adult fantasy series. You have to get through the world building to get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many, like, I read the freaking Greenbone Saga. That book is literally just politics the entire way through. So you can can love that, but you can't love 200 pages.
I haven't read that one, and I don't plan on it.
Oh yeah, you won't like it, Mel. But I'm just saying, in general, with my heart. Okay, you guys, I'm really offended.
I read House of Earth and Blood in 1 day, Kaylani.
Thank you. Somebody gets it.
Another question that we like to ask our authors is, and this is another one of those fun ones. So we found out that some authors, quite a few of them actually, have some kind of token that they keep with them when they write. Like, for example, Janella Angelis has a tiny red bird that she has on her laptop that she keeps with her when she writes. Is there something that you always have with you when you write?
I mean, aside from the Diet Sprite or 7-Up,
that's her token.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, I have like my favorite writing situation is on my laptop, and I like to write on Scrivener because it just works better for me, because Scrivener, I'm kind of like a writer who jumps around. And so it really helps me kind of like organize stuff. But aside from that, I don't think I have something like an object, you know.
Do you have like do you prefer like writing at home or like writing out somewhere in public, like coffee shop or something?
Yeah, now that I have an office, I didn't in my previous house, but now that I have an office, I definitely like writing in my office at home. It's just the most quiet, I think, that it can get.
Less
That
distractions.
Yeah, exactly. And just generally, yeah, I am really bad. Like if I go to a coffee shop, I am going to get distracted
Bless
and
you.
start looking at people. Bless you.
Thank you.
Are you a morning writer or a nighttime writer? Or do
Uh,
you write like from all day long?
I am a however long it takes me to write the word count that I have to reach that day of writer. So it really depends. Sometimes I finish pretty early and I finish, by 1. Usually, like, yeah, I really just write everything just in the morning. Sometimes, um, uh, sometimes it takes me until like 7 p.m. to like write all the words that I have to write that day, based on when the deadline is. So it's, yeah, it's, you never know.
And do you listen to music when you're writing? Like, do you kind of have a playlist that goes along with your books?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like, no. I mean, the silence, the quiet is the best thing for me, I think, in terms of productivity. I have songs that, I will listen to like, around the writing times, maybe I take a break and I listen to a couple of Taylor Swift songs or something like that. But it's kind of rare for me to like listen while I am working.
So not only is she an avid reader, reads her arcs, writes amazing books, a neuroscientist, she's also a Swiftie, y'all.
Yeah. I am a Swiftie first and foremost, I would say.
My number one personality trait.
Swiftie.
Okay. Taylor Swift or otherwise, what is your favorite song right now?
I mean, it would have to be some Taylor Swift song. I went to her concert, and the night that I was there, she did "Snow on the Beach," and it was just like it was already one of my favorite songs of Midnight. But the fact that she did it, like now I feel this strong sense of kinship for it. I don't know. Yeah.
I think my favorite song right now, it's a pretty new one. It's called Cinderella Snapped by Jax.
I have never.
I'm obsessed.
I'm writing it down.
Do you really want to know what my favorite song is right now?
What?
It's Nasty by Russ. All the praise kink you could ever want.
I actually just watched a little short video on YouTube earlier today of the singer from Jax. She was showing her Nana, or like playing the song for her Nana, who the song is dedicated to, because apparently when she was like in elementary school or something, they had a princess ball and she got all done up like a little princess, and she had no prince for her ball and she was very sad. And so her Nana, when she got home, her Nana took her original Cinderella book and scribbled out all the words and redid the whole story. She kind of wrote a book for her called The Cindependent Woman. And it was like Cinderella doesn't need a prince and all of that.
I love this.
And so she still had that book that her Nana had done and showed it. And then she played the song for her Nana, and Nana was rocking out, and I was just obsessed. It's on Jack, like they have their own YouTube channel. It's JAX, and it's so good.
I have to go watch it. That's so cute.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah. Let me. I want to read some of the lyrics
because I am who I am, and I like praise king. What do you want from me, sir?
You're not alone.
Yeah, Russ has the entire TikTok, book talk sphere on a chokehold, and I have no complaints.
The lyrics. Once upon a time, there was a princess waiting for a boy to give back her shoe. Suck it in, be a wife in a blue dress, the prettiest piece of property the land ever knew. She waited and she waited for the guy to show, but she didn't know that after midnight he was busy in her stepsister's bed. So Cinderella said, plot twist, I don't need no prince to save me. I'm a goddamn CEO. Don't call me baby, equal pay me. Snow White said you tried to kiss her, so I'll buy a new glass slipper and burn your castle down. And kids, that's how Cinderella snapped. When the smoke cleared, every girl in the whole land woke the fuck up and started making demands. Rapunzel shaved her head so there was nothing to climb on. Jasmine made out with Mulan. Sleeping Beauty sued the dude who kissed her while she was asleep. And Ariel was confident without any feet. Tiana went and got a biomedical degree. And Beauty realized that she was the beast. I don't need a prince to save me. I'm a goddamn CEO. Don't call me baby, equal pay me. Snow White said you tried to kiss her, so I'll just buy a new glass slipper and burn your castle down. And kids, that's how Cinderella snapped. He said, Cindy, sweetie, don't be so emotional. You're always so emotional. It's fine to be controllable. If I'm emotional, that'd be the reason for you to address me. While you're on your knees in the scary event that I get too emotional during your trial. So watch how you're speaking, because while you were sleeping around every weekend and using your power to prey on the weakest, I studied your own legislation all season. And last I checked, cheating is treason. I don't need no prince to save me. I'm a goddamn CEO. Don't call me baby. Equal pay me. Snow White said you tried to kiss her, so I'll just buy a new glass slipper and burn your castle down. And kids, that's how Cinderella snapped.
That sounds amazing.
I love it. So good. And it's very catchy too. Okay, Ali, what author would you suggest that doesn't get as much love as others or newer authors?
Oh, you know what? Like, I don't know. I don't know if she is getting love or not, but like definitely Sherry Thomas. I feel like because in the last few years, she has been writing mostly mysteries. She writes the Lady Sherlock series, which is like, you know, it's Sherlock Holmes, but it's Sherlock Holmes is a woman, Charlotte Holmes, and because she writes mostly mysteries, it seems to me like a lot of people kind of don't think of her as a romance writer, but she has written some of my favorite historical romance ever. And she has written one of my favorite contemporary romance novels, The One in My Heart. So, yeah.
And Taylor Swift as well, yes. What's your favorite Taylor Swift song? Well, I think you might have answered that.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to tell. Yeah, Snow on the Beach is a masterpiece.
So, why am I not surprised it's your favorite song?
Your reputation precedes you.
Well, I feel like out of all the three hosts, I'm the one known for the dark, smutty, absolutely nasty dark romances, because that's what I like. Have you read Tate James?
Not yet.
I'm just trying to do it.
Okay. I'm writing it down next to Cinderella Snapped. I'm taking notes.
Yeah, our songs are very fitting to what we like as far as books. So like she likes the dark, smutty things. I mean, I like those too, but my like go-to comfort kind of thing are like fairy tale retellings. Hence freaking loving Cinderella Snap, because I was like, that's just so perfect. And yeah, so that makes complete sense. What's your fave Taylor Swift album?
Questions.
I cannot choose between 1989, Reputation, Lover, Folklore, Evermore,
all
and
of the above.
Midnight.
All of them.
It's a 6 tie. seven. No, 6. How many? So
just all of them.
Yes.
They're all my favorites.
I also like, Speak Now and Red and Fearless, but I would say that none of them is my favorite. So that's yeah. It's hard. It's very hard.
Yeah, right now I do have quite a few Taylor Swift albums, but like right now I really want the Jax album whenever that comes out, but also Miley Cyrus, like her newest stuff. Flowers and Rivers.
Yeah.
Oh, I love them both. I'm like, yes.
That's
Red TS
Yes, red
version is my fave.
I like I mean, first of all, like All Too Well 10 Minutes. I was sobbing when at the concert. Like I was like, oh my God, this is the best moment of my life. And generally, like, yeah.
You see the
Taylor.
diving off the stage thing? Like, is that
Oh
the
my
concert?
God. Yeah, that's the concert. And I didn't expect it because I tried to go fairly unspoiled. And when she did it, I was worried. I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, is she okay? Are we gonna be okay? Like I thought she had injured herself, but I was worried. I'm worried for you, Taylor.
I watched a short video today on YouTube as well about it was there was a fail at one of her concerts where she was going to do the dive and something happened and she was like WTF, and like things didn't work, things weren't working out right. She was just kind of standing there and it made the sound effect like her splashing in the water, but she was still just standing there.
Yeah.
And I guess it was like delayed opening or something, and then she jumped in. It was funny. I'm obsessed with Flowers by Miley Cyrus. Like, it's perfection. Yes. Flowers is still stuck in my head, and I'm not mad. It's stuck in my head all the time. That and Cinderella Snap. Those are both like, they go back and forth. They need to like merge into one song in my head.
They are they're very Flowers is very catchy. Like, just when I just think about it, then it's in my head for like 6 hours.
Mm-hmm. Oh, once you listen to Cinderella Snapped, it's going to stick in your head too, because it's very, very catchy. And it's like, Cinderella Snapped.
Yeah, I can.
Very jazzy at that point. It's cool.
I can see this being my future.
My friend bought herself flowers and was singing the song, and her boyfriend was like, should I be concerned? Yes. Wow, we've actually gone way over what I was planning on us too, but it's been so much fun, like geeking out over books and music and all of the things.
I'm very excited to listen to the song now. It's that's the first thing I'm gonna do when we get up.
Clint's favorite song ever is "Let Me Drown" by Orville Peck. I don't know if I know that song.
I am fascinated by Orville Peck. Like, he's such a cool guy. I'm fascinated.
Well, thank you so much, Ali, for hanging out with us, especially for so long now, because it's
gone
almost double the time I thought I would.
I mean, this is it's all I do this weekend. So this is amazing, and thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad that I got to meet your dogs.
So glad you got. He's
and
right
you guys as well.
He's on a bone. Right back there.
Obviously, Einstein's still the star of the show.
Exactly. Einstein's butt. That's
Einstein's butt is right there. It's a very furry, fluffy butt, and he likes the butt scritches.
As he deserves.
He does. He deserves all of the butt scritches. Amanda says, this was so much fun. Thanks, Ali, for being here.
Thank you for being here.
And before we go, remind everybody the books you have coming out and when they'll be out. And guys, go pre-order them.
So I think that the next one is Love Theoretically. It's my third full-length adult rom-com. It's set in STEM, and it's coming out in June 13th. And then in November, my first YA book is coming out, and that's Check and Mate. And it's coming out, I want to say November 7th, but it could be 6th. I am having a brain fart. Sometime in November. And that is, it's a YA set in the world of chess.
It looks,
and that's it.
Ali can't talk about it, but there's something else in the works too. So that's
and then my next book will be out. It should be out in the spring, and I can't talk about it because that's it. But publishing doesn't let you talk about things until you don't care about those things anymore, and then you're not even excited to talk about it. I am like, publishing, why?
They just lock it up.
But yeah, I'm very excited to talk about it.
Thank you,
Oh,
Allie.
thank
I am adding
you.
all of your books to my TBR now. Thanks so much, Allie. This was such a great time.
I
It really
had
was.
the best time. I had the best time, guys. I now every time my holds come through when I am
You'll think of us.
exactly, I will think of you guys, and I'm like, I'm not alone. At least I'm not alone.
You're definitely not alone. We all are dealing with the struggle of Libby.
And Allie, if you're ever in California, my book room is always open.
I will, yes, like now we live together. That's our life now.
And Allie, if you're ever in Tennessee, I have a
I-
pink room upstairs with all my favorite books in it.
Pink.
It's pink and it has a crystal chandelier, and I have bookshelves that have all of my 4- and 5-star books on them.
Perfect. I love
That's my
it.
guest room.
Best
true
guest
guest
room
room.
ever.
This is a blast. I'm sad I couldn't be live.
I'm sad too. Next time, Clint and I will meet and we'll vibe together.
Absolutely. You
So
know,
fun.
Allie, do we want to ask
Go for
about camp season-a-thon?
Go for it.
I mean, so you have, let's see, your book comes out in June,
Mhm.
you said?
And then November.
When in June, do you recall? Is it beginning?
Is the 13th. 13th. Yeah.
Would we want to do that, guys?
If you're interested, yeah.
Would you like to come back in the summer towards the end of June and do another with us? And we could use Love Theoretically as our group book for summer.
Oh, I would love to. I mean, if you guys will have me just to hang out with Einstein.
Do you hear that, Einstein? She wants to come back and see you again.
Einstein,
He looks up.
you're my favorite. I love you so much. I would love to. Yes, let's do this.
Sweet, that saves me so much work.
Yes.
We're
Guys,
excited to have you back. We had such a good time.
But
For those-
but Einstein will be there. You can guarantee. this.
Absolutely.
Okay.
For those that are still here and still watching, you heard it here. This is a sneak peek. Allie's going to be our author for spring, our summer
Camp and
season-a-thon, which is going to be called Camp Season-a-thon.
And Einstein will be our host.
Einstein will be hosting. We'll have Einstein, Bailey, and Chewy as the hosts
Yes!
for Camp Season-a-thon.
The dream team.
The dream team.
I don't even need to be on here. Just let the dogs talk.
Yep. We'll just have all the dogs on screen. They're the hosts for Camp Season-a-thon. We'll name those like the camp cabins. Camp Einstein, Camp Bailey, Camp Chewy.
Amazing.
And Allie will be our author, and we will be reading Love Theoretically. Yay! So excited. Dream team, I love that. So we now have our author for summer and our author for winter later. Oh my goodness.
I love this. I mean, I just want you guys to know that,
Einstein's butt is always hosting.
Einstein's butt, exactly.
Yes.
That's what we want.
Einstein's butt.
Curly little butt.
Mel, please make sure that when you post the thumbnail for the next round of Season-a-thon, that it's only Einstein's butt. Only
Exactly. She knows what's up. She's like,
When we post
how
the
you
thing with the
promote it.
host, I'm gonna have to put replace mine, yours, and Clint's face with
Just
Einstein, Chewy, and Bailey's face.
No, not their faces, their butts.
Well, maybe we'll have their faces and then an Einstein butt off to the side.
There you go.
They're all
Love it.
dying now.
Love it.
I'm for real gonna do this, guys. You're gonna see their faces as our host.
I cannot wait.
It's going to be fun. Okay. Well, since we're here, let me look at the calendar real quick and I can see if you're available on June 24th.
You might want to ask my team because they have a very involved calendar for me, and they only tell me like they send it to me month by month, and they tell me, this is what's going on, so they would know, and I would not. They are very good, but like they will figure it out. I don't think so though. I don't know.
Okay, well, tentatively we will be our author
June
and our group.
24th.
I will send a message as soon as this is over to her team,
but
just to make sure. But fingers crossed.
I mean, I can't imagine having anything to do on June 24th. Like
it's a Saturday. It's the last Saturday of the month.
What would I have to do? Right? Yeah. So
hang out with Einstein's butt.
I mean, that is yeah.
I've witnessed Einstein's farts. I don't think I want his butt there.
What? I bet.
Oh Lord, they have, because he would, when I would sit at my desk, he would be under my desk, and I'd just be talking and stuff, and then all of a sudden he would fart, and it would come like directly up through the. Oh, I was like, why there? Yeah, they've experienced that.
I don't believe you guys.
Einstein is perfect, and you cannot convince her differently.
Exactly.
He doesn't fart. He's too cute to fart.
Farts smell like roses, maybe, but maybe he just doesn't.
Einstein, do you fart?
Einstein. No, I fluff. I only fluff.
No. Einstein,
do you fart? That's a no. That's a very hard no.
Okay.
Like
Come
never.
Here. You gotta say goodbye to your audience.
He's like, no goodbye, just kisses. Just
say goodbye.
He's like, okay, fine.
You five. Good boy.
Yes, go Einstein.
No, he's got tissue on his hand.
What an excellent boy.
He is a very good boy. Yes, he is.
Well, thank you again for everything, Ali. We hope to see you for the next round in June.
Absolutely.
Same. Thank you, guys. It was such a good time. Thank you.
Of course.
Einstein.
Bye, Einstein. Andrew Butt.
Thanks everyone who tuned in as well.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thank you. Bye. Subscribe to Kaylani. Pre-order Ali's books, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.